This is Douglas Crosby, the guy behind the most controversial scorecards in MMA. But he isn't someone who is just bad at judging fights. He is doing a lot of weird stuff behind the scenes. For example, he is known to befriend fighters and offer them roles in movies, which is obviously a conflict of interest. This is what Big John said about him.
Who's you?
Doug Crosby.
Okay.
He hands out sheets saying, you guys need to say these lines because he comes from the movie industry. Hey, he puts guys in stunts and movies because, hey, I can get you into this movie. It's just, you have to separate it. You have to separate this. You want to be in the movies and you want to do that, that's great. You can still do the judging, but you can't bring fighters involved in it to gain any kind of, oh, hey, this guy did me a favor. Can't do it.
And this isn't a new thing. Doug has been doing this for so many years. Back in 2015, he was accused of this same exact thing. He faced backlash because he never notified the athletic commission about this conflict of interest. And then there's also the disturbing get into the whole story that Uncle Chael told back in the day.
And sees that it's just this dark tunnel of doom. And for reasons unknown, he tells John to get in. John said no. And Steve said, you can either get in the hole or I'm going to put you in the hole. But John refuses, so Steve tackles him and is now trying to throw him into the hole. It could literally be his death. Literally.
Check out Zach Riddle's video because he did a very good job of covering that story. I'll put a link in the description. The point is, he seems like a very shady dude and nobody likes him. Big John hates him. Ray Longo hates him. Eric also says there's a conflict of interest. Ariel doesn't like him, and a lot of fighters also don't like him. So the question is, why is he still here? After all of this backlash and controversy regarding the Paddy fight, he is still here. In fact, the California State Athletic Commission created a new rule for traveling combat sports judges. This rule will prevent judges and referees from traveling across the nation in order to officiate at several events on consecutive days. So instead of firing this one guy, the commission is doing this mental gymnastic just so they don't have to get rid of Crosby. This seems very weird. The guy must have very strong connections in the industry. And if you don't understand why this rule is bad news for every MMA official, let me explain. These judges and referees don't get paid a lot for these jobs. So what they do is they book multiple events on weekends and work back-to-back days. Now because of this guy, they won't be able to do this anymore. So referees like Herb Dean and Mark Goddard will have to choose which event to work, and if Herb Dean works on a Bellator show and there's a UFC event the next day, he won't be able to work on UFC fights. That's one less referee for the event, just because someone in the system does not want to fire Crosby. This is definitely very fishy.